Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SKTV. Welcome to this show. Welcome and welcome. Let's share the show, please. As you are joining us, please share the show. Sorry for being late. I was running, taking care of something really quick. Sorry for being late, but let's share the show, please. Please, guys, help us to share the show. As you join us, help us share the show, please and please. If you can't help us share the show, we are begging you. Let's share the show. Today promises to be very interesting as well, as always. But let's share the show. Today, Sunday, the 30th of April, 2023. Tomorrow starts a new week, a new month. Promises to bring new dynamics and some new things. But let's share the show, please. Please and please, let's share the show. As you come on, let us know where you're following us from. Let's share the show, please and please. We have a lot to talk about. Let's share the show. Let us know where you're watching us from. Whether Thompson is watching us from Minnesota. Tapla Popo is a good day. Tapla, let us know where you're watching us from. Guys, please help us to share the show. We have interesting things to talk about. Very, very interesting. I came up from a conversation that got me smiling like I've won the lottery. But let's share the show. Please, let's share the show. Please. Let's share the show, please. Let us know where you're watching us from, please. Okay, Ibrahim passed away watching us from Mecklin Street. Okay, Chief. My man, what ain't going on? How Mecklin Street? How everything up there? Siku will be joining us momentarily here. Please share the show. Please and please. What's up, bro? What's up, Young Tom? What's going on, my man? What's happening, brother? But let's share the show, guys, please. Interesting things. The conversation continues today. We scrutinize the VP peak of former Vice President Jose Yuman Boakai. That one is not going to stop. Whether Alexander Cummings announces his VP pick, that VP pick will be would be scrutinized that way. Yeah, I know, bro. That VP will be scrutinized as well. I want you to know that. Hey, we want a better Liberia. Let's do it better for Liberia. But let's share the show, please. Please and please. Let's share the show. Help us to share the show. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about today. We do. We have a lot to talk about. That I want you to be aware that we have a lot to talk about. We have some things to discuss here, some very serious matters about Liberia, and so we're going to try not to waste too much time. We get into the conversation, but let's share the show in a minute to help us to share the show. Let us know where you're watching us from as you join us. I see my man. So my man on CDC hit me. Or my man on CDC hit me or Oba. Yeah, but it's not easy. My man on CDC hit me up. I just told them go there. But let's share the show, please. Let's share the show, please. Let us know where you're watching us from. We'll recognize you here momentarily. Sorry, I'm trying to send the information out to one or two people that should be joining us in the conversation here. I don't want to get started and then I forget not to send it to them. Then I get in trouble. And they still say, "Oh, you didn't send us a show. You didn't do this. You didn't do that." I don't want that. So, but let's share the show, guys. Let's share the show, please. Share the show, please. Share the show, please. Please and please just give me a moment here. Share the show, please and please. Sorry, guys. Please share the show. Sorry. I'm sending a link out here to the guys in Liberia and one or two people that should be joining us. So please, that's why you see me a little. I'll be with you just in a second here. But let's share the show. You know what? I want to play music, man. I want for you to. I want for you to. Come. Come, let's have the conversation. Come, let's have the conversation. Please. Come, let's have the conversation, please. Okay, give me a second. One of the sorry about that, guys. Anyways, let's get on to the conversation. Sorry, guys, I was a little distracted. I was sending out the link, trying to make connections here with one or two people from back home as we prepare to get into the conversation. Thank you for joining us. Welcome and welcome to today's show. Welcome, please. A lot of people coming. I see a lot of our friends coming. A lot of people sharing the show. Share the show, please. The conversation here is a national conversation. It's not personal. It has nothing to do with anyone. If anyone has a personal issue, you can feel free and go on your page and write it there. It is your constitutional right to do so. But we'll stay focused. We'll stay focused on the issue. We'll discuss the issue. And if we need to call you out by name, we'll call you out by name. If that is only if you're implicated in the issue. And as we, over the years or over the months, have discussed political parties and key people attached to political parties, we have been able to call out some people's names and their roles and things that they do. Some of them see it as not being fair, as not being fit, as some of them have taken it personal. It's okay. Some of them have gotten mad. Some have gotten mad. It's also okay. There is nothing wrong with getting mad. Remember, I've always told you that even going home can get vexed. I can get vexed. No one is immune to that. The fact that you even get mad is a sign that you're a child of God. It is, to be honest. Because we who know the scriptures, we know for a fact that God himself can get mad. The Bible talks about the anger of God, the wrath of God. So God can get there too. So when you get there, you're a child of God. So anytime I get there, I can just think about myself and know that I'm a child of God. So please, let's just be civil. Let's, in the comment section, let's be civil to one another. Yesterday was a very busy day for us in our community here. It was very, 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 very busy. No joke. It was very busy. Starting from the show, some of you might not be aware. Before we come on the show, we got to do some preparations because you must know what you're talking about. It takes time out of your busy schedule. I commend those who do shows. No disrespect to them. It's a huge sacrifice. Whether they're getting paid for it or not, it's a huge and tremendous sacrifice. I just want you to know that. It's not a small thing. Especially if you got to sit 2-3 hours. Just forget about the sitting down on the show in itself. Just take that time out. 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. Take it out. Talk about the preparation you have to do. You have to coordinate things for it to make sense. Because when we speak to you or with you, the message got to make sense. And the reason why you keep coming, even though some of you are still mad, is because the message is making sense. Even those who disagree with us, not disagreeing with us on the issue, on the things that we said, disagreeing with us because we said it, and it is the fact, and they have no other argument to counter argue what we said. They still come around, whether they watch from far, or they click on, or they watch it from YouTube or anywhere else, they still come around. Because they know it is the truth. They wonder sometimes, maybe how do these guys know these things or whatever it is. And the truth of the matter is, you have to do preparations. You do. You don't look in the sky and just wake up one day and start talking these things. They don't happen. Sometimes you got to do extra research. You got to study. Sometimes we are up in the morning that we don't have anything to do. We're following on different things, following on different stories, different leads. You got to call people. You got to reach out to people, text people, Facebook, email, whatever, WhatsApp. You got to be in touch. You got to know what's going on. You have to, So it's not an easy thing. It's not just, let's just go turn on the Facebook and just talk. No. It has to be more than that. It has to be more than that. So it's a lot of work in it. And I want to say to my fellow brothers and sisters who are in the Unity Party, or those who support former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Let me dispel this rumor that maybe because we decided to scrutinize former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai or his VP pick, that automatically we are anti-Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Or we are anti the Unity Party. That is not true. That is in no way, shape, or form true. Or that is, we're trying to take one side over the other. No, that is not true. That is not true. But here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is, when the Centel, which is one of the agencies in Liberia that deal with transparency and accountability and so forth, did their research, did their investigations, and implicated Jeremiah Cohn and linked him to huge corruption, massive corruption from 2012 to 2022. I was not there. I didn't make up the report. So how can I be blamed for using this, for bringing it to the public as part of the scrutiny methods that should be used for us to know who is Jeremiah Cohn? What do you buy about that? I'm still trying to understand us. The essence of wanting what is right. Let me tell you today, the essence of wanting change is to be able to scrutinize the opposition even harder. A few weeks ago, we were on Alexander Cummings. We were on people that are in your camp. We were on Mariah. We were on what a guy named other people from the Cummings camp. Even Cummings, the Musa Belete, what are they doing? How is the campaign going, or whatever it is? We do these things because we want a better Liberia. Should anything happen to Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai, God forbid, if he's elected as president, Jeremiah Cohn will be the next president. We have to know who he is. What in bar inside? What in our one that bar that we can talk about? It can't be secret. You can say we should just focus on George Weah. We already know what George Weah can do. We know who George Weah vice presidential pick is. We know what she's done over the years. We don't know much about Jeremiah Cohn. We don't. And we can't preempt and say we know who Cummings' vice presidential pick will be. We can't do that because we don't know yet. Now, when we know and we refuse to hold that person accountable, scrutinize that person, then you can start to call us out. My people, we have to do this. This is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. And the reason why Joseph Yuma Boakai is on the spotlight or so forth, Joseph Yuma Boakai has a political record that he has to defend. He does. He has a political record that must be scrutinized. Oh, y'all don't understand this. It's not a free pass. It's not going to be a free pass. Nobody will come to the presidency with ease like we did with President George Weah 2017. These are the fundamental mistakes we made. And we can't hold ourselves too hard on it because at that time, social media was not this open. We know how all the Facebook lives, we know how all the things that some of the information were hitting and so forth. And at that time, too, some of us were not around. We're not in politics or whatever, we're not involved. But we can't sit on the fence. Some of people, yeah, let's work together on this. Yeah, let's work together on finding out who these people are. The people that want to take over our country, let us find out who they are. Let's not buy that we're saying like, bro, pick in the bag. Let us not buy pig in the bag. Yes, Terry. Yeah, Prosper Terry, you're 100% right. I didn't criticize Jeremiah Cohn when he was on the short list of Alexander Cummings because he was not picked. When he's picked, then we'll criticize him. We'll scrutinize him. My man, y'all need to work. Let me tell you something. Some of you will be thankful down the line for all these different shows, whether you agree with or not. We're helping the politics. We're helping the common citizens. We're helping everybody bring information to the limelight so that you can make an informed decision when you go to vote. That's it. I've never, at any point, tried to say, don't support this person, support that person, don't support. I've said, me personally, there are certain people I will not support because of the record. Simple. You have the right. Even if you choose to say, I support this person and who I want to support, and I'm changing my mind, that is your right. But at least be informed. There's nothing wrong with it. Some people have made up their minds. It's written in stone. You can't change it. There is nothing you can say or do to change it. And that's okay. See, that's the beauty of politics. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But at least when you are informed and you make those decisions, when you get what you get from the informed decision you've made, you can't blame nobody again. And you can't blame God. You can't get there with God. No. So today, as always, we'll be telling a story. We'll be bringing on, I know Sekou supposed to bring on a gentleman. We'll be bringing a story. We'll also, at some point in the conversation here, have a chairman, Abraham Dode, will be joining us as well in the conversation today. So the conversation promises to be very interesting, intriguing. So stay put as we go on the journey. And let me say to some of you, let me just be honest with you. Please, we're in politics. We're in politics. We are in politics. This is not religion. People will choose to insult. People will choose to befriend, unfriend, stay friend. People will choose to fight. People will choose to use curse words. People will even choose to use other means, whether ritualistic, spiritual, whatever it is. Please, don't take it personal. Don't get there. Some of you who follow us, who support us, here's my advice to you. If somebody cursing me somewhere, and you respect me, and you know me, don't tag me in it. Don't. You want to be there and listen to it, you want to be there and read it, you want to comment at your choice. Don't just tag me in it. Don't do it. It's important for you to not do that. Let people express themselves. It speaks volume of who they are. Let people express themselves. People have the right to express themselves. People have the right. People are going through a lot of different things. A lot of things happening in people's head. And not everybody you see in public mean that they're okay. Some people are not just okay. What a male winning. But don't tag me in it because it doesn't help. You know what I mean? It really doesn't help. Don't tag me. Go enjoy it. Go, you won't be part of it. People, don't just tag me in it. Because it's not important. If it was that important for you, the person will call me. Look, let me tell you something. If I want to say something to somebody for and I can't come on live to say, or I know that's something that's personal. Trust me, I'll call that person. Anything I say on Facebook, yeah, personal. After Facebook, I move on real life. Last night, you also be chilling, a small dancing I'll do. I beg you, yeah. That small dancing I'll do. I finished dancing, I bounced to Sekou. We went somewhere last night where the boss was just chilling. We just made the boss and we just chilling, eating roasted meat, drinking. What thing concern me? What thing concern me? What thing concern me? If it's serious for you, if it really is serious for you, to be honest, if it really is serious for you, the person will call me. They'll be honored, they'll call me and say what you did to me or what. Then we know we're having a discussion. But if somebody want to come on Facebook and vent, express themselves, get pissed off because I said something or because Sekou did something or because somebody else on the network did something to them, what do? It's okay. What thing happened when I want? What thing? Why would do? They more coming in, you still pay mortgage. They will let you mortgage away. You still have to pay car note. You still have to pay insurance. You still have to pay other things. That's so anything. So my people, you lead a thing and I'm telling you, listen, the thing is not personal thing. It's not personal. And on a side note, on Spoon Talk. I enjoy Salamatu. Salamatu Donkey. I enjoy her. She what her name? Avatoba. I enjoyed in the last show with Prince Johnson. I watched the entire show. The one, the very first time where I watched, I sat down and I didn't watch it live. I was in the album. After the show, later in the afternoon, Sekou and I were playing checker, but I put the earbuds in my ear and I listened to the entire show from start to end at the very first time. And I liked the position. I liked how she grew up. That's how you do it. That's how you do politics, especially women. Women are disenfranchised in politics, in our politics, even in America, all around the world. So when the fact that you're a female, you're a PS somewhere, it's already among us. You got to catch up, especially in the midst of all the men. It's just, let's be honest, it's just a natural phenomenon. It's a natural thing. So now you got to work your way up. So when you come there, you have to assert yourself. So I enjoy Salamatu. I hope she'll keep all the momentum. I do. Don't ever sit somewhere you believe in anybody or you believe in anything and somebody decide to, unless that's true. But if somebody decide to deliberately lie on that person, you sit there and you just smirking and smiling, you are co-signing to that and stand by that. You are co-signing to what that person is saying, especially for the Spoon Talk. And don't get there with people. Let me tell you something. When slaves change slave masters, their behavior can change. They got to be able to appeal to their slave masters. It's okay. I don't have a problem with that. It's not an issue. I don't deal with slave. I deal with a master. And the slave master and me, I don't deal with me. And the master, then I don't discuss with. One day I went to discuss with slave labor to say what thing. To what thing. We move, man. That's only, that's only the thing. That's still forward. We got important things to discuss. The Liberian people matter here. The most important people on earth. Stay away. Let's tell the people. And anybody can let go do anything they want to do. I stand what I stand for. If you are somewhere, especially in politics, and you believe in somebody, you proclaim openly that you support this person, and you sit there, and somebody honor that person, honor your interests. You are sitting there, and you are smirking, you are laughing and smiling. That clown show you're having, you're co-signing to that. I say, politics, that clown show. Politics, that clown show. That play pageant. That laughing team. Politics, that clown show. A serious thing, because it has the potential to change the lives of people. And so when you identify people who want to thwart your efforts, especially if that effort is in the right direction. If those see people open their mouths and say, oh, this person is good, they qualify, and they got all they want, and I see people want to come and change the narrative and make that person look ugly when the condition, the situations have not changed, and you sit down there, you're laughing, and a funny show you're watching, you're co-signing to it. Politics for serious people. And it's a serious thing. Very serious. So I won't say this to you. When I come on here, after here, I go to my normal business, my normal life. But when I say things here, I'm serious about it. Very serious. When I say things here, I'm very serious. I've never drank in my entire life. It doesn't mean people who drink or smoke, they got a problem. I've never smoked. So I'm alert oriented. When I say anything I say here, I know what I say here. That's why I don't go back to watch the show. I don't go back to watch myself. I mean what I say here. And I say what I mean. But hey, let's get to the program. Thank you for tuning in. Let's share the show, please. Let's share the show. I'll be giving you hints in the next few weeks on what's going to happen. Pay attention. If you're not friend with me on Mose, you can follow me. You can become my friend. My name on Facebook is Mose. I'll be changing my name very soon to my Steve Bole name on Facebook. Very, very soon I'll be changing it. But for now, that's Mose. My actual name is Steve Bole. That my government a born name that I But anyway, let's share the show, guys. We'll be bringing on the chairman. few weeks ago, let's do other news really quick, and we'll share the show for 1 minute, and we'll be back into the conversation. A few weeks ago, in other news, the build up to this entire thing that you see, we started talking about it. You don't believe it, but we started talking about it. Let me give you an example. I wish I could send this thing to myself and put it up again. Just in the month of April, we started talking about it. And I remember I had traveled to the East Coast. Listen to this one. Let's start the story. I had traveled to the East Coast. On the East Coast, we had several conversations. It was good. When I got back, the end of February 27th, this is what I wrote on my Facebook page. I said, public service announcement. I'll be back on Facebook starting off March 1st, 2023, as announced yesterday on SKTV. I left Facebook the entire March. April 1st, I showed face back on Facebook. After having some serious conversations behind closed door. I showed face. Yeah. I showed face. I was drinking my tea chilling. I said I was mama business. I was drinking my tea. Some people came there, they commented. So we joked or whatever, then we move. Fast forward, April 3rd. Listen, maybe I let a thought story because it helps. It will connect the dots. Fast forward, April 3rd, on Moses' page. This is what I wrote. I said, Watching and following carefully. People came there again. Yeah. We may know, we laugh, we move. April 5th, 2 days after again. I wrote something. I wrote about the 5 dysfunction of a group, of a team. And the first dysfunction in there was the absence of trust. I wrote all 5 of them. Fear of conflict. 3, I said lack of commitment. 4, I wrote avoidance of accountability. And then 5, I said inintention to result. And I left it, people came there to laugh. On the 7th, it was Siku's birthday. I want you to listen, please listen. Because nothing happens in life. Nothing happens in life coincidentally. That's not true. Even if you didn't know about it, it either happened in the spirit realm, it's manifesting in reality, or it was destined to happen. Siku's birthday, we're chilling. As always. We won't celebrate the birthday. We celebrated the birthday. I went back to raising the alarm. On the issue of drug and addiction in Liberia. I recommended that it be a national effort as opposed to an independent project. I did. And the reason we are doing these things because these things are in real time. You can see them. You can read them. And we're not taking them down. Since I've been on Facebook, only one post and I take that. Let's move on. On April 10th, 2 days again. If you notice me, I have a pattern. I can either write after every 2 days. After April 1st, And April 3rd, the post I wrote, On April 10th, 7 days after, 1 week exactly, I wrote another thing. I said, okay, we are following. Wow, wow, and wow. And I put a running sign, I left. On April 11th, I did something very strange that I don't normally do. So right back to back. On April 11th, this is what I wrote. The plot, the plans, and the strategy. I just laugh. Let's play ball. We are following and watching. I deleted it there. Let's move forward. On April 12th, I wrote something again. I might not be a politician, and I don't have political experiences. Please listen to us when we make recommendations. The exposure, betrayal, and noise. It there. It there. I'm thinking now. Mose. Go back and go read it. There's sequences. We told you to prepare for what is going to happen. We warn you. We systematically, strategically try to inform and alert you. We did. I was speaking to one of my uncles and he was telling me something about the war in Liberia. He said before the war would come, he said they used to do some kind of thing in the night. They used to drop notices to different places, more like letters or paper flyers or whatever it is. They will drop them up here. They were signaling people. And he said to me, people were not paying attention, Steve. He don't even call me Steve, he call me Baby Boy. He said, Baby Boy, people were not paying attention. He said the people were not paying attention. We were telling them. We were signaling them. They were not paying attention. To diffuse everything that I was saying, I showed them my dog that day. I showed you my dog. But let's move fast forward. Because it's important for us to understand who these political actors are. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. One of my friends came and said, one of my friends called me and said to me, "Oh, nobody knows you in Liberia." Oh, more living man. Nobody knows you in Liberia. You're not matter. You stay over there, you eat burger all day. You're not know the Liberian politics. Liberian people don't listen to you. You're not get this. You're not get that. Why you were done talking? What doing? I said the thing that's all happening to you in the next 5 years. I can tell you today. The thing that's all happening in Liberia. Ain't living in Liberia. You know it. But the thing that's all happening in the next 5 years, I can tell you. Hey, you were very me on the phone. Cause the hell out of me. I think I said, go ahead. Are you using curse words? Yeah, I use curse words. I can use descriptive adjectives. I don't use curse words. Like that. So, but anyways, guys, I just wanted us to set the tone. I want us to set the tone because it is important. It is very important for us to pay attention to the signs that are shown us. Very, very important, my people. Please don't ignore any sign. Don't. Please don't ignore any signs. Any one of the signs you see, don't ignore it. The fact that you are seeing some people getting pissed off, some people for no reason, they're just angry. That instead of sticking with the issue, they're attacking, they're forcing, they're fighting. It making sense. We're getting there. We're getting there. So let's share the show. We'll be back in a moment. Let's get to the musical break. But in other news, we are hearing some unconfirmed reports. Everybody will yell at me. We're hearing some unconfirmed reports that the CPP/ANC is closing in on a deal on a VP pick. Yeah. We're closing on a VP pick. And we look forward to the VP pick because that VP pick will be scrutinized here too. Well, since that VP pick has not been announced, and they're telling us a couple of sources within the CPP arrangement, and going forward, I will not be using the word ANC. I will try my best not to use it. I'll use the word CPP because it's unfair to the Liberty Party. You know, someone cautioned me about that more than once. More than one people cautioned me about that, and I think that's the truth. And I'm sorry in the past that I did not use the word CPP as opposed to ANC, CPP. You know, it's a little conflicting. So CPP, a couple of sources are telling us that they're closing up on the deal. We pushed for names. They didn't want to give us any name. But when y'all want to be tied with information, and they're telling us the way Joseph Baga, VP Sonny leave before the time, they don't want them to leave. I said, but what we going to do now for you to let us know what? Because we need to know. We still hold on there. We need to know what's going on. Y'all can tell we still hold on. Y'all can get your inside say. They say that Vlad, they will not do it. They say that Vlad will not do it. They will keep it tight-lipped. But we'll bypass to other sources. We'll go to our other sources in the morning because, again, we're still holding. We can go to different sources. We don't want to go to different sources now. Like, oh, yeah. We got more than one sources in the place. That, oh, yeah. We got more than one sources in the place. That's security on security. We got more than one sources in the place. But anyways, let's get to the let's get old Tiola Leo Mills. I stay with her. That's what we stay with. I stay with her on the party there. Yeah, I stay with her. That's who's saying I want to be stay with her. Me, I want to stay with her. So I can tell anybody, any party. Even let me tell you something. Y'all getting versed. Even the United Party, what we're doing for you is good. If you know, what we're doing is good. We've helped the United Party even more. They watch from distance and they take cues from some of the things we say, the recommendations we make. But in other news, Jota Yuma Bwaga betrayed Yomli Kanga Lawrence. We get a picture of a video of the cars that were given to United Party, 8 pickup trucks. 8. I say refurbishment. I'm talking about that one. I say second hand now. Fret. Like, bro, fret. I beg you, y'all. Fret. We get a video for it. Fret pickup. Joe up, calling the pickup. Get out of our way. And y'all listen to that Joseph Yuma Bwaga song that what a guy named. What a guy named Sonny got dear boss son. I want you to listen to that song good. Even though people can be dancing to it, certain part in that song, it says Joseph Yuma Bwaga get the opposition calope, he get it Huawei. Dala, you can listen. Me, but I don't just listen to me. I can listen to music, but I listen to the wording. They are telling you what Joseph Bwaga will do. Joseph, anybody get a song, go listen to it. Go listen to it. Anybody got a particular song? What is it in number 9? He's a player and they can be dancing, bouncing around. Joseph Bwaga who can play football. Yes. But in that song, go listen to it. It says it there. He says it. Yes. Sonny got dear, but thank you, my sister. Yes. It says it in there. But anyways, we got a video of the picture. My only recommendation is I hope Unity Party will do the utmost respectful thing and get young people about our cars. It's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. They take it. They take the car up. Oh my goodness. They take the car. Before get traffic. I big. Joe boy take the car now. I'm a poor Joe boy. You take car. He take it. I big. Anyway, I get to the musical break real quick. 1 minute and we'll be back. We'll try to get Chairman Abraham to their own here so we can have this conversation really, really quick. And we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Let's get to the musical break real quick.
You don't even know my story. You don't even know your story, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know, on the day, I be a local. So moral. You post your new car on Facebook, but that's so la la. You working better. Loving and acting jealous, say you photo. My advice for you, in my way, I got to confess. Confession. You gotta confess. You must have the impression. Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing. Enjoyment, got your blessing. Enjoyment, no more stressing.
It's never gonna be another man trash, just another man treasure. Another man fool, was another man poison. Got your good, according to your measurement. Got your good, according to your measurement. The player ain't garish, and they play booty.
That's because of enjoyment. But folks, we are back. Thank you so much. Thank you and thank you. We are back. Should be having Chairman Abraham Dode here soon with us into this conversation. But don't be surprised. Don't be shocked these few days. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you today. Don't be carried away by, I think, what young Unity Party people and some surrogates on Facebook making it low like it's a done deal. And not true. That particular ticket has been rejected both by the Liberian people and by the international community. That particular ticket is rejected, is dead upon arrival. Yay. You will see it play out. That particular ticket is dead upon arrival. Let them pass around and defend all they want to defend. Oh, instead of talking about change now, they are defending a ticket. Instead of they move from rescue now to defend. Okay. Let me tell you something. The Liberian people are not stupid. The Liberian people are not stupid. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy to say that ticket is dead upon arrival. That ticket has disappointed lots of people. There's some prominent and good people that were willing to even look forward to that ticket. But we told you now, Prince Johnson, Stanton Witherspoon, they are the faces, the spokespeople, and they campaign us for the Joseph Yuma Braga team. What is Prince Johnson record with the United States of America? I'll wait. No, I'll wait. I will wait now. I'll wait. What is Stanton Witherspoon record? I will wait. I will wait. No. I'll wait. Let me say this to you. Those boys, they're not on rescue again. They're on defend. They're more than CDC. Who passing around defending everything? Defending. Let me tell you something. When you are doing the right thing, you don't have to defend. When you are doing the right thing, you don't have to defend. Why they passing around on Facebook and other places defending? Why? If they're the right thing today, why they must be defending? Why they must be passing around insulting people when you say the truth? Why they must be going all around getting themselves blood pressure? They're seeing people who they didn't want to pick. They're begging their own call. But at the same time, some of the surrogates are attacking. Y'all tell us now. No, the ticket won't buy a good. It's a good ticket. Everybody work on the ticket. The Labrampo work on the ticket. No, it's a good ticket. But I also be laying out sleeping. It's a good ticket. The ticket is dead upon arrival. Don't make them, listen, don't make them waste your time. That thing not going nowhere, that fly. That fly. They carried a tree or whatever they were talking about. They crashed a tree. They disappointed people. Yes, they did. And let me say this before we bring on our guests. Jeremiah Kuhn. Let me say it again. I will keep saying it. Jeremiah Kuhn is referenced in a report seriously linked to huge corruption. We read a report here yesterday. I said just seriously linked to huge corruption over the stem from 2012 to 2021 or 22. I'm still not recalling the exact year. If the government decides to prosecute Jeremiah Kuhn, which President George Weah has, then let's see. Our guest is in the Bible. I want to make sure this point is out. Which President George Weah, honoring the mandate given to him as president, has the right to implement the recommendation or give it to LACC to prosecute them. They are being investigated. And that is the report that came out of the investigation. Don't come here and cry wolf and say the witch hunted anybody. That Bernie Samoka story you're bringing back. We have seen this. We're blowing the alarm again. You're coming here, you're cussing, you're saying that lie, do nothing and nothing will not happen. This ticket is rejected locally and internationally. Let me bring our chairman to their own here. Chairman, welcome.
I'm not.
Can you hear me?
For some reason, I'm not
Can you hear me?
hearing.
Can you hear me? Let me see. My people, can you hear me? Can you please, if you can hear me, guys, can you please let me know? Can you just put a thumb up over there if you can hear me? I hope I'm not the one. If you can hear me, please put a thumbs up. Let's get some thumbs up, please. Yes, Chairman, the people are hearing me. Oh, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. I don't know what's going on. The people are hearing me. If you can also see me, please let me know because I know sometimes it kicks me out unknowingly. Can you please let me know? Okay, they can hear me clearly. Y'all can see me? Y'all can see me too? Chairman, we're seeing you. We can't hear you. Maybe that's the phone. You might want to go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. Yeah. So sorry guys, I mistakenly kicked myself out. I mistakenly did that. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can bring the chairman back on here. Chairman Dora, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Chairman, we can't even hear you this time around. Chairman Dora. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm kind of hearing it, but
Yes, you're cutting out. Maybe your location is not good. Your location might not be good. So, folks, Chairman Dora, we coming back on. Let me say this to you. I know we are in some very serious times here. But I would I tell you folks, this is very, very interesting. Coming from the my people, I will say, bro, you don't let him lie to you. 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 One of the newspapers in Liberia, and we've been following up with the different analytical views. We're not talking about your, I support, I do the one. No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about, I already made up my mind and the rescue ticket. That's not no rescue ticket. The rescue ticket not tend to defend ticket. No one rescue. That whole rescue thing, so that we know that scam from day one. That scam, man. Nobody, that's totally scam. Nobody should be fooled. Nobody should be carried away. That's not true. That lie. Oh, Nima Kante will do the one. Nima Kante on the ladder. That lie. People who come into contact or people who defending all that. Just think about it. That would leave everything else. That would keep all factors constant. All factors, let's keep it constant. At this stage, in the politics of Liberia, 4 to 5 months to go to election. You want a seat of government and you are serious. You're supposed to be on defending your VP pick. I thought your VP pick should be an added value. I thought so. I thought your VP pick should be an added value to push you up to the top. When Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris, there was an added value. Not only that it brought on the women vote, it motivated, stimulated the African Americans vote. It stimulated, motivated people of. Let me tell you something. We're not just talking anything. We're talking strategy in politics. We're talking selections. We're talking people making decisions. We're not talking, I will support Baka. I will support Baka. That's not what we're discussing. What is the added value here? The ticket brought more yo-yo than it brought solution. The ticket brought more yo-yo. It brought confusion, division. Let me say this to you. On Friday, should have been, before we bring Chairman Doda in, he just logged back in. On Friday, should have been a solidified, unified, committed message to supporting the so-called rescue mission. It turned out to be we're back. We're discussing the issue. Listen, if some of you didn't pay attention to Friday sent a clear message that the ticket is dead upon arrival. You believe it? Let's take a retrospect. Let's take a retrospect. These guys are only inflicting their own egos as they've always done, made the public seem like it is well, when the truth of the matter is, it is problematic. Let me give you an example. Friday showed no unification. It showed no unity. It showed no solidarity. It showed serious division. I'll give you an example. How in the world Friday was the day for your nominee, where you should have your allies from the Liberty Party, Senator Darius Dillon, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, Benina Ure, and the rest of the folks. You should have had them lined up to show unification, to show that you guys are unified, you are ready. Instead, what do you see on Friday? That me talking? That lie I say? You can't get there with me because of what I'm saying. You saw pure division. You saw them taking him. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. If there is nothing that happened on Friday, if there is nothing good that happened on Friday, If there is nothing at all that happened on Friday, I want you to go back and sit and think. The message that was sent was a divided breakaway, unsupported, lack of numbers, because there is no way you want so straight in number. You go to that United Party headquarters, that can take 300 people on a given day, 300 to 350 people. You got to spread through Broad Street. And we're even being told that people are even trucking in and all. And still can't help you. And you say, oh Lord, before that is that God. So the ticket on Friday that was presented, it was vehemently rejected. It was a sign of rejection. Say what you want to say, but you can't deny that fact. It showed crack. It showed no alignment. It shows serious division. But let's bring the chairman in because we got to get other voices on here. Chairman, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Yeah. Good to see you, my brother. How you doing, man? It's been a long time. It's been a long time coming.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely, my brother. How's everything?
Yeah, we're doing very well. Thank you so much. It's good to have you on SKTV. We miss you.
Thank you so much.
Have you back home.
Yeah, man.
You kept that quiet. You came out with a new look. What's going on?
My man, we gotta be in our little corner trying to mind our own business and watch the process. So we got watch the process. So yeah, man. Yeah, being quiet, my brother.
To share the show. If you're just joining us, Chairman Abraham Dode is joining in this conversation. We'd like to pick his brain. We reached out to him sometimes last week to see if he could be available for us to have this conversation because he's one of the people that have been in the trenches. He understands the politics of Liberia. I think his voice on this matter would matter. And regardless of your stance or his position as well, again, as always, let's be respectful and let's try to pick his brain on it. Chairman Dode, welcome to SKTV. You are not a stranger here, but for some people who are just joining us, that don't know you, who's Chairman Dode? And I keep calling you Chairman. So
I mean, it's okay. Everybody, the thing about it is that a lot of people call me Chairman. So the Chairman is on me now. I'm Chairman of SOUP, a Liberian, a political figure, a philanthropic individual, and a Liberian, like I said, reside in the state of Alabama. Kind of quiet a little bit, but watching the process. But yeah, I'm a Liberian and a political figure, like I said earlier. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks to you, Moses, and to Connor for the hard work and the team for the hard work. You guys have always been, on top of the issues, providing critical analysis to the Liberian people, informing them of what the issues are and how they can be guided in terms of what is a political, social, economic, whatever it is. So just thank you for your effort, man. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, so we can have a better Liberia. So thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Thank you. We appreciate you making time to honor our invitation to come in so we can have a conversation. Just before we get started, let's set the record straight that for the record, you are one of the people that called on more than once a united opposition. Where do you stand today on that call for a united opposition? From your post I've read, from some of the things you've written, you were not so focused on who leads or TK or whatever not, in my view. You were clear about a united front and a united opposition to be able to defeat the we-led government. Where do you stand today?
Moses, I still stand by a united opposition. I still believe that we cannot go into the elections divided. We cannot go as as a single individual, thinking that you've been around for a long time, or you participate into a lot of elections over the years, or maybe you are well known, and so you can go in unilaterally and defeat this Georgia administration. It's just not possible. And so looking at all of the different entry cases, and different possibility and different permutation we look at. We said, you know what? The clear chance we have is for us to unite as an opposition, and just not uniting as an opposition, but for me, I was very clear. At one point, I said that Cummings, JNB should go to Cummings as second, because I felt that Cummings, as far as I know, in the policies that I've read between the two candidates, Cummings had a better chance of bringing a better chance, a better opportunity to the Liberian people in the country. So I defended Cummings, and I always defend him because I know he has a lot to offer the country, and so that's what I came from, and so I opted continuously for a united opposition. But when we in April, we got to probably around March, April, February, March. We started to get some signal from within the different camps, and of course, some of us had a meeting with Mr. Cummings as well, and he was he said that, well, outright, that he could not go as second to JNB. Whatever the situation was, I wanted to find out what a JNB reached out to Cummings and said, Cummings, hey, can you go a second to me? Or is there a possibility? Can we do this thing for the Liberian people and for the country? And the answer that I got was that, hey, I don't think JB has ever picked up the phone to call me. That's the insinuation that I got from him. Whether or not that's remain another question to verify, whatever the case is. But it appears as though two of them did not want to collaborate at that end for whatever reasons. And Moses, I will put it this way. And the reason the both of them, I don't think JNB and Cummings has some serious fundamental policy-driven issues with each other in terms of what are they to deliver to the Liberian people. But I think one of the problems that I got to realize was that there were people in both cycles. There were people around the Cummings, around Mr. Cummings. There were people, young people like myself and you, around Mr. Cummings, around Job and JNB, who didn't want that to happen, who didn't want to see that happening, right? And at one point, I had a conversation with a lot of different guys, and I said, that was being selfish. Even if JNB promised you a minister of state, or even promised you ministerial position, or even if Cummings promised you ministerial position, whatever the situation is, let's look at the bigger picture of Liberia. Liberia stands at a crossroad. We see all the deaths in the country. We see all that happening in the country to our people in the country. We see all that is happening to Moses. There should be no reason why anybody should be bent here on their position as saying that these two people will not unite, especially when you are a young person, you are a young man, or you are a young woman. Okay, so that kind of broke my heart. But again, these are people who are around. These are people who are around the two, political figures. Those are the people who have to make the decisions. Those are the people who write the policy papers. These are the people who, are, directly, linked to these individuals. So whatever they were telling them, they were help bent on say, what, these are the things we're going to go by. So that's what makes it more difficult for us to have arrived at a united opposition, especially from the Cummings and Burger angle. With that being said, then other factors are to play in. The Yomli factor, the Costa factor, the Kuhn factor, all of these different things, all the different, probabilities start to filter in, which now leave room for all kind of different discussion at different levels, and leaving, Cummings out. But if the Liberian people, that's why the Liberian people wanted Cummings and Burger ticket. Whatever way the permutation would have fallen, I assume the Liberian people would have accepted it, but that didn't happen. Even up to this point, Moses, I still believe that, and the danger and the reason why I kept calling for that is because, Moses, if we make the mistake and we don't unite as an opposition and go to the second round, it'll be difficult for you to say you're going to pull a win. Joshua preside over the state resources. Joshua and people preside over the state resources. These guys don't care whether they can empty the country's coffers and be able to buy people overnight millions of dollars. Whatever they can do to win this election, they will do it. It's no secret. They are going to do it. So, as individuals who know all of these different things, these guys don't fear anything. They will do everything at every length to win elections. The only fear we have that at our disposal is for us to unite with one voice. With one voice. Because if we go to the second round, you have opposition X speaking in different tone. You have opposition Y speaking in different tone. You give the leverage to the ruling party to do whatever they want to do. So that is the danger some of us look at and say we continue to call for the opposition unity, but now one of the opposition unit does not in any way suggest that we should just go anywhere and pick anybody from the grass from anywhere and just make them part of the opposition and give them the power or whatever the situation is. I mean, so that's what it is. So
Well, we'll get into that, folks. If you're just joining us again, one of the things that I want to say that I admire Chairman Duda for is he takes a stand and he sticks with it and provides this. It's important,
right.
In politics, in our lives, it's okay for you to take a side or
right.
to make it known where you are or whatever. Not it's
right.
very okay.
Right.
You have consistently, and even up to today, wished for an opposition unity and so forth. Now, let me come into this issue of the opposition unity and ask you one or two questions. Do you think in the past few weeks where people went around and said they wanted to petition Cummings to go as Vice President Jose Yuman Paka, and the narrative of insisting that it must be Bwaka the head of the ticket. Well, what is your take on it really quick before we pivot to something else?
Moses, me, I like to be very upfront. I know we'll come to that, but I would slip in that before I know we'll come to that during the course of the program. I feel hurt. As I speak to you, I was just sharing that conversation with somebody last night. A lot of friends been calling me, "Oh, Chairman, what your take on this current process that is going on, the JNB, KKK, KY, Cone ticket? What you make of it and so forth?" Look, I feel hurt, and the reason I feel hurt is it's just like when somebody tells you, Moses, that you're not going to be anything in society, and you turn around and buy into that person's narrative, and you don't do anything to disprove that negative narrative that you don't worth anything and you're not going to be anything. And then the person said, "But at the end of the day, say, but see, I told you, they're not going to be anything." And then you buy into the person's narrative, and that's where the ANC and Mr. Cummings finds itself. It pains me every time Costa insulted Mr. Cummings for the past 5 years. For the past 5 years, before I answer your question, I want to lay the premise and the basis before I answer your question. For the past 5 years, I thought Mr. Cummings and the ANC and all of us who support Mr. Cummings would have done everything possible to disprove Henry Costa and the rest of the other people's narrative about Cummings is not a factor in the process. Cummings is not anything in this process. Cummings does not work. He's not even close to wherever we think about to be near the presidency. But as we speak, Moses, if you look at the ANC and you look at the work and whatever that is ongoing in the ANC, it pains me because there is not any tangible work you see going on that will generate the kind of momentum that we anticipated. And that guy is the only guy in the political frame right now as we speak who has a clear chance of winning the presidency. But there has not been enough done with respect to, say, in the party. Look at the party, for instance, institution, for instance. Right? What has been done throughout the country? Most of the young people of the party, the youth in the party, the women in the party has a structure. What is being done? You barely see that. So it puts me in a position, I'm like, what is going on? If Cummings is not in the radio, it's not a radio station talking, nobody talks. If Cummings is not in the community making inroads to visiting people, nobody. You don't see the women win, you don't see the wheel win. If you don't see Yasendi or that friends or other people in going back home to go to Nima County and other people and make some impact, you see absolutely nothing. Bility has back up. You better see Bility involved and Bility is focused on, in Nima County. So if you want to be practical and honest about what is unfolding, the the guys behavior to Mr. Cummings and attitude is an example, is a manifestation of his own self. What is unfolding in the Cummings camp and what is unfolding in the ANC, even the ANC global. So there's a lot going on, and these people are not talking. People who support Mr. Cummings, with some of us, we are honest about it because we want Mr. Cummings to succeed in the process. We might have back doors or conversation. We have talked to people. This thing is hurting some of us because we support this man and we don't see much is coming, much has been done. If Cummings doesn't go out there to do anything, nobody does anything. Nobody's go there to say anything at all. How is the man going to win the elections when the propaganda team is, you know, better see any propaganda machineries of Mr. Cummings? You better see anything going on. How do we win the elections? Elections is about numbers. If you want to win elections, you have to get the numbers. What is the consultation? I will tell you this. Madam Salif, when Madam Salif, by this time, Madam Salif, they called a YEP, right? Madam Salif had all of our tentacle in all of the different universities, all of the high schools, all of the marketeers everywhere in the country. So when you look, all of the different auxiliary groups all around the country were all fired up, ready to go. But Mr. Cummings' message, for some reason, and the people around him have not been able to put that message out to convince the Liberian people this man is alternative. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Cummings, but the people around him are the problems. The people around him are not putting forth what needs to be done. So it becomes a point that Cummings is not seen at all in the entire political discussion. He's off completely, and which is hurtful because we know what his man is made of. We know the thing he brings to the table. We know the kind of person he is, and it hurts some of us to see him, you know. And then a few people sit on social media and curse and do that and stuff. It's not going to help. Even if you curse somebody, it's not going to help. What can we do? You have an issue at hand. What is the solution? What is it? We have the problem. What is the solution? Causing somebody, causing JNB or causing Kung or causing the person, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help anyway. We've done it for the people. We've done it for the past 5 years. It has not yielded any result. What do we do? Herman Costa told us, come and be nothing. Other people told us, come here, not power. He's not going to represent the country. He this and that. They gave him all kind of nomenclature. Today, it's been manifested. What can we do to undo that narrative? That should be the problem. So to come to your question, Moses, I wanted to lay that basis because it puts us in the position where some of us can say, you know what, this is what it is. You know, this is what it is. So the ticket as we speak and on JNB, you know, the JNB, the Kun ticket, or whatever the case is, you know, all of these things are happening because we've not been able to make ourselves relevant in the process. We've not been able to show that yes, we have the muscles, we have the strength politically to be able to you know, come and tell you guys, listen, enough is enough. You know, so it makes it difficult. So people are not looking at you anymore as being, you know, as being a factor, you know, as being a factor in the process. If I'm a presidential candidate, why would I even want to wait for JNB to even select a ticket in the first place? I'm not going to wait. No, because there are a lot of people out there that you can have the discussion with in terms of what needs to be done, right? What needs to be done. But the fact of the matter is that people don't understand. Most of the guys on social media, they think that the way to fight is to cause one party and so forth. I was part of the process. I gave some discussion to JNB from the beginning, but I felt it wasn't working. It is not going to work. It has never worked. It's not going to work. The mindset of our voters and Moses are different from any other voters around the world. They're different. So when you deal with them, you deal with them from a very peculiar perspective. And how do you factor that into the process? It becomes difficult. But all we do is that we all want to criticize, cost out, and then I ended up with it. Even though we know the problem. If you don't know the problem, you cost us a different thing. But if you know the problem, you begin to find solution for the problem instead of begin to stick in your own old ways and begin to cause anything. That's a solution to the problem. It's not. It's never been. And it's never going to be. So we find ourselves in a more peculiar, more difficult situation. But for every situation, for every problem, there is a solution. So as we go along with begin to navigate, throughout and find a solution to these problems.
And thank you, Chairman Doda, for pointing out some of these things. I also wanted, for the record, to point out that I know you mentioned Cindy, Dr. Francine, other people, and we've seen a couple of times where they went to Liberia. Again, I don't know the extent of the impact they made.
Right.
Currently, as we speak, there are some ANC members, CPP members, Liberty Party members who are on the ground as we speak, not only registering for a vote for the votes, but they're they're out there. From what I've heard from some of the sources we've reached out to, raising these same questions and alarm, like you said. A couple of weeks ago, we did that. Asking them about some of these things, what's really going on. And they're telling us that they're doing door-to-door or whatever it is. Now, we are waiting for the convention, which the state will be on the 13th of next month. In that convention, they would present their VP. We have been calling, like you have called, for the CPP to present the vice president. Again, not to wait necessarily on someone else or whatever it is. So, I would have to agree with you that there is huge concern that we've raised. But let's move just a little bit on this whole JNB, United Party, Jeremiah Kun, and the marriage. I want to start off first with this part of the conversation. Do you believe, or do you share the sentiments of many Liberians who think and believe that Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence and Henry Costa were betrayed? Do you believe that?
And to answer the question, I would say yes. I would say yes, they were betrayed. And yes, the reason why they were betrayed.
But that's before we go into that, yes, that's shocking from you, who is, and that's what I like about you, who is very critical of Henry Costa. You are also critical of Senator Yomli Kanga. Let's be honest for the record.
Yeah.
You are critical of both the three people that you just said. So coming from me, who know you and how you take stands on issues, I'm a little shocked, but
Moses, that's just me. That's why a lot of people, I like me, and some of my haters, they don't like me. I'm a straight shooter. I'll tell you up front who I am. And a lot of my friends, they know me for that. To mean that I don't bite and blow or anything. I say exactly as I say. People know Henry Costa. Henry Costa was my friend before. We stay friends, but we disagree on a lot of different fundamental issues. Henry Costa is my sister, is a big sister, from Basso, where we hear from, but we disagree on a lot of different issues. I think that she's in the Senate on ways and means, that a lot can be done in the Senate. The Senate, the House have not been audited for decades, and I think they can do a lot. They've not been able to do it. And so I hold them responsible. Most of the things our people going through in the country, they can't be in the national. In fact, I have one person who called that nobody should have been selected from the national legislature as a vice president to anybody. Period. Now, Yomli Kanga, now Kun should have been elected and be selected as a running mate to JNB or to Cummings. Period. And the simple reason is these people at the national legislature have not been able to do anything for Liberian people. If they have been senators for the past years and I'm not going to do anything for Liberian people, how are they going to do anything when they become vice president in the first place? There are a lot of Liberians out there who can be good vice president from Nima County and from Grand Bassa County, other counties. They don't have to be cool. They don't have to be cool and Yomli Kanga. I don't want to.
No, I'll hold you there on that point because in politics, let's be quite honest. In politics, you would have to have people who probably came from the Senate who understand. And I'm just saying that's what is projected in most cases, because guess what? At the end of the day, you would have to make negotiations to get bill passed, your agenda passed, and so forth. And who's best to be vice president from the Senate or somewhere else in the legislature?
But most of you get it wrong. The problem is people who come from the Senate, even the great United States of America, the people that have records, they have history, they make the indelible marks in the rural communities in society. Joe Biden, for instance, Joe Biden was in the Senate. When you are picked as a vice president, I mean, he did a lot of things in the Senate. He passed a lot of legislation. He was not part of those who were signing concessions at the detriment of the people of America. He was people who were passing concessions at the benefit of Americans. And I can give you I will give you countless of examples, right? So when you're at the Senate, it's based upon your records, it's based upon what you've done. People can select you as being vice president. But the two people, you know, if we were putting on the pedestal to be as a qualification to go to the store and not looking at where our politics stand, because our politics is a contributing factor to selecting them. If we say we're looking at the records and their history, what they're doing in the Senate, two of them would not be qualified to become anybody, a vice president to Joseph Burger or to Cummings or anybody for that matter. Period. But our history, the history of our politics, the history of our political process, give people the opportunity to be vice presidential candidates. So we go with the flow because that's where our politics demands. Right now, we don't have anybody in there. And they are the two people who have been at the Senate, being, you know, have their own popularity in their counties. So we want to win elections, we have to go for these two people. Or we have to go for other people in there who have the numbers. Now, if Darius Dillon did not blow up his chances, guess what? He will be in the conversation about being a vice presidential candidate. If for instance he was elected to this point, if he's done all the things that the people were requiring, because by that time people were even asking him to be president. He was in the conversation about being president of the country. Okay, so by this time he would have been an easy pick, right? Easy pick. But, you know, with all of the crisis in the Labor Department, everything that's been going on in the Senate, everything else, you know, that's another conversation for another day. But again, like I said, yes to you, you know, yes. And the reason we are betrayed is simple. Here's my reason why. You know, in politics, it's when somebody stand by you, when somebody give you that support. I'll go to Yomli Kanga first. Yomli Kanga sacrificed everything that she had.
Speaking of Yomli, I want to play this short video really quick. And while you're making your point, Yomli, to corroborate what you're saying. Folks, okay. Please, let me give you the history of this video that I'm about to play. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, it's reported. We told them we wanted the facts. We didn't want no joke because we want to say things. We want to be able to substantiate it. It's not just talking. So Yomli Kanga Lawrence donated some cars these few days, right before this election. We have been told by more than one sources confirmed that she was under the high impression that she would be selected as part of that as VP. As evidenced by that, she decided to provide some supports. We're also being told that there were also financial support in the amount of 10,000 United States dollars that was given cash. Because we do not have the information to that, so we can provide you with a check. But let's see some of the vehicles that were provided by Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence most recently, because we're able to obtain the pictures, the video for it, and so forth. Let's see it because the chairman it's speaking just about that. It's sorry folks, let's see here. Give me a second. Sorry, folks, I'm not sure if you guys were able to see the cars. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I didn't see it. I think the video.
I'm very sorry. Let me stop the sharing. Let me go back to it. I'm very sorry. It was my fault there. I should have. Give me a second, please. I will get to it right here. I'm not sure why it's not appearing on the screen.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Give me a second, folks. Give me a second here. Hold on there. Just 1 second, folks. I don't know what I'm doing that's not right. Sekou, if you are there, I'm not doing something that's right. Could you please help me? I'm not sure why it's not on this tab. Give me a second. Yes. Yeah, it's right here.
Okay. I think it's okay. Now it's loading. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's on there.
Okay.
But it's not playing yet though. Okay, there you go.
Who ready? Nima kind of operation. Yeah, who ready? New paper coming. Who ready? Get Basso. Nima. One country. Far west. Yes. One country we hear y'all cry here. Yeah, man. Maserado. Yeah. We want Maserado. Can they want the more powerful woman? I'll brand new people on it. More than 25 people, yeah, people that come in. Yeah, one on our side. The Papa is coming. Oh, the Papa is coming. Huh?
So let me turn that off really quick. So, Chairman, from what we are told, from what we are reliably informed on, is these pickups or these cars were brought in by Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence. And we're putting it out to the public. Maybe Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence or the United Party can refute that or can challenge this assertion. And this was done most recently, and we are told that 8 of them. That was the exhibition. But go ahead. We just want to substantiate your claim.
Yeah, so, first and foremost, before I even address the question, I think there's a fundamental mistake that JNB made here. And, when you're in a political process and they are competing, interests at different levels, you don't build the expectation of people, or you don't begin to accept gifts from people, with the pretext that, you would give them, you would make them vice president, or you made them vice president, or you had showed them. Because what we got off from close sources, from some of the candidates, some of these names have been talked about, that they directly from the man himself, from JNB himself, they were tipped off and they were promised. You don't do that. You don't give, you don't take gift from people, because when you start to do that, what you do is that you raise their expectations that they're going to be selected as vice president, as vice, running mate, and then they begin to go above and beyond just to make sure that they certify the ticket or to do some things. Take for instance for Henry Costa. Like I said, I got some document to share with you, and I've not been able to share. I was sharing some document. Some of the payment that Henry did for JNB. I got some of that. I'm like thinking, how in the world? And months ago, I reached out to most of my friends in the United Party, and I told them, I said, listen, you guys are taking a serious risk with Henry Costa, carrying out the activity of the old man, all around the place. You guys are taking a serious risk, because if Henry Costa is the one controlling JNB activities, spending up the money, doing everything that he wants to do because he has intention, and that JNB has promised him that he's going to do this and so forth, it becomes compelling on JNB when the time comes to make Henry Costa what he has spent his money on, or what he has been promised. right? The city when Nyambli Kanga. If you don't want to make these people, don't take money from them. You're in the process. Imagine if all the people give you money here and they give you resources and materials and all the things, material resources and all the kind of things and so forth. If they were giving it to the party, give it to the party chairman, that's a different thing. Making a contribution through the institution, that's a different thing. But if they're giving it to you individually for the sole purpose of being selected, or they've been tipped off to be selected as the vice running mate, that's a whole nother conversation. So all of these things, it becomes a problem on Moses. So my thing is, Nyambli Kanga, put everything up there. Printed Jesse, we see that 12 and 9. I mean 6 and 9. Number 9 and number 6. They were all moving back and forth. And Nyambli sacrificed everything. Her party is in crisis. She went from court to court in crisis. Back and forth. And this woman, look, I'm one person. I don't myself. I don't. But Nyambli, if that woman sacrificed everything for you, and she was by your side, and she supported you, even though I had a decision to select who you want to select, but if she supported you and stood by you all these years she supported you, and she been called all sorts of names. She's a female. She went back and forth, rebellion back and forth. All this she did it, and all you did was to say, you can be selected. You go tell somebody else. That's hurtful. If you did it to me, or some of the people who talking say, that the man chose and so forth. Imagine if they had done it to them. What would they say? If they had done it to them, if they were to be stepped off as a vice standard bearer to be selected, and all of a sudden it's being played, even though they put in the resources, you just showed me a pickup. I don't know whether that's true or not, but you just showed me a pickup. I know that's not going to be. In fact, somebody told me about it yesterday. Someone said, "Chairman, do you know we donated some pickup to the old man and so forth?" And even 4 days to the selection process, we're still being told that she was going to be named.
And Chairman, to assert this, I know probably you heard it, but we try to go above and beyond to have our facts right before we talk. We don't just come and just accuse people. Again, like I said in my disclaimer, let the Unity Party come and refute this assertion, or let the Liberty Party rebut this, and so forth. We'll wait. Simple. But go ahead.
So, so what I'm saying is, and you can't do all of these things. The woman can't do all of these things, and then you say, she can be selected. Why is true is your right to select who you want to select. But if you put them under the impression, and they gave them all of these different days, contribute their resources, all these things they did it, and everything else. And all of a sudden, she's not picked, and somebody else is picked over her. I see that as a betrayal. But again, it's part of somebody will say it's part of the political game. And going to Henry. I have said Henry. Henry has his own issue. I have my own issue with Henry. But what I'm getting from Henry is that, hey, I spent so much. The old man, we had a one-on-one conversation about this thing. When he came to the States, we had a conversation. People went to him, they had a conversation. He has showed them he wanted to transition the country to a generational individual. So the guys began to make resources available, began to do all kinds of things, contribute to him monthly. He'll be monthly contributor to his well-being and everything else. You cannot do that. You can't be a president candidate, wanting to select a vice in the pool of a lot of other people who has interest, and you taking, gifts from these people, taking gifts from other people. If you take gifts, you give the people the impression that they're gonna be selected. If they're not selected, that's a problem. That's the fundamental problem. That's one reason why I question the United Party people. I say, take control of JNB. Do not allow Henry and other people to take control of JNB. Because if you take control of JNB, you control JNB and his activity. If he needs money, you give him money as a candidate. You don't have to depend on Henry. You don't have to depend on Nyambli. You don't have to depend on anybody for that matter. So when it comes to the decision-making process, the executive committee, you will pick the man of the executive committee, but he will be left with the ultimate choice of making a decision. But as it stands, he's the man now. He was getting all the gifts from all the people, and who were being expected, not just one, from Henry, from Nyambli, and then out of the sudden, bam, he going to take cocoon. And of course, my understanding is that also, so he didn't play the games well. He didn't do well to the people. And I hope that, in the spirit of opposition unity, in the spirit of defeating, the CDC that we don't want at all, that he can make amends with these people. He can sincerely meet these people and apologize to them that he didn't do right. He didn't do it. That's part of the work of a leader. You can't do right, and people are in a position that they feel hurt. It is left for him to be able to mend the fences and say, listen, I didn't do right in the process, but there's still more at stake here than the hurt that you guys feel right now. I think we can resolve the issues and be able to move forward. I think he has a responsibility to do that, and he has to do that really fast, because there are a lot of political things that are going on right now, discussion going on and so forth. So if you allow it to slip off, and the guys go the other way, or they've been have other decisions to make, it becomes dangerous for his prospect.
So Chairman, and I want to make sure I also agree with you, because we were some of the same people that told the Unity Party from the get-go on this platform, and they cost us, they attack us. You can't have an institution here in America, such as the Unity Party, USA, and Canada, and honestly, Chairman, and have Costa running the affairs. We said it here.
Listen, I told the people. I think I called one or two times. I called you. I called my brother. Sekou, and I told him. I said, there's no reason why you have an institution that Unity Party, an all grand institution that Unity Party. Then you have Costa controlling the paper, entire modus operandi, coming to the States, going back to the country. Even the paper in the country, he's JNB in the country. His activity being remote from states by Costa. How is that possible? How is that even possible? I've called most of the guys in the Unity Party, say, this thing you're doing is not right. It's going to haunt you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we are. You cannot have an institution and you have Costa controlling the paper, controlling JNB, every activity. You cannot do that. What it does is that at the end of the day, it puts you in a serious problem, and that's what we're experiencing right now. Because now Costa feel entitled that JNB owe him a lot to give him, and he didn't do it, and he spent all his money and everything and so forth. And he can't get it back, and JNB is being betrayed in the process. And then his godfather Yure is out of the question. He didn't attend the program. His sister Yure didn't attend. Tell her you didn't attend the program. And we need other people on the table. Right? If we talk about opposition unity, we need other people on the table. Whoever make it to the second round, we support in the process. But you cannot do that as an institution. And then at the end of the day, you cry foul. You say, oh, Costa, he's an ingrate. And so, but no, the new man spend his money. The new man spend his money. You know what I mean? To take care of somebody in Liberia for spending $3,000 every month, or paying this and paying that. No, it's not fair to Costa. It's not fair to Yombi. They can't do that. But it has already happened. And then the parties will blame to be responsible. They make Burger the paper vulnerable to Costa and especially to Costa, and now they want to claim that Costa is being ungrateful to JNB. JNB has a choice to do. He has a choice to do that. He has a choice. But the choice does not mean that you should be on the impression that Costa should support his activity, that you're going to be giving it, you're going to be choosing, and he's not choosing. Then you should sit down and just be say, oh yeah, I waive it. Whatever the case is, that his choice. No. It doesn't happen like that in any political situation. Assuming about those people who are talking today to being to be selected, and they spend thousands of dollars every month for years, and they're not being selected, what will happen? What will happen to them? What will happen if they were the one?
Thank you, Chairman. Let's welcome Sekou really quick. Sekou, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Wonderful. It's good to see you, and welcome to the conversation here with Chairman Dode. Chairman, I wanted to, just before Sekou comes in with one or two questions as part of the interaction here, I wanted to get your take on, because we've talked about the betrayal, whether it's Yomli, whether it's Costa, whether it's DeLong, whether it's Mr. Yue, and so forth. We talk about all of this. In terms of what you saw on Friday from a numerical standpoint, because in Liberia we can say, there's strength in numbers. There's strength in number. People should show strength. given the Unity Party claim they are the biggest opposition party, other people should join them rather than joining them, and all that extra. In terms of the numbers, this Unity Party did not deliberately select the ATS to go there. They did not deliberately select the SKD, which would have shown numbers for us to quantify it to some extent. But in terms of what you saw and the other people not showing, what does this say about this ticket? The fact that the other members, the allies who started the whole journey with Joseph Human Boyka, didn't from the CPP up until today, what does that say about this ticket, both in terms of numbers and what we saw, and in terms of solidarity or unification? What do you say before Sekou comes in?
And you know, welcome, my brother Sekou, welcome. You know, and the thing about it is that, you know, I would put it this way: they moved to have the program at the party office, at the party headquarters, was strategic, and I will commend them for that. You know, they don't want to create. They will have the issue of the people. They knew that the people are not going to attend the process. They all night they were on the phone talking to these people to attend the program. They you know, someone gave assurance, but they still didn't attend the program. So any attempt to have gone to the because you needed to take on people there to make it to size the number, you know, and all that kind of thing. So if you had gone to ATS, you would have created more discussion. You have the issue of dealing with people absence. You know, you will be dealing with that at the same time dealing with the number, the quantitativity of the number that, you know, that has the quantity of the number that people supposed to go to the ATS. You will be dealing with that. So you have two issues at hand to deal with, right? So that move right there was strategic, and so I commend them for that. You know, I commend them for that, because guess what? Whether you take it or you leave it, Kun is popular in Nima, right? The only person that can undo Kun in Nima is either Gonglu. Not even her brother, not even the Tamu Gonglu. Either Gonglu is the only one that can challenge Jeremiah Kun in Nima, right? So that was strategic, and Jeremiah Kun is popular in Nima. So they moved the activity on Friday. I think it was good, you know, for them, and the way they held it was good. Now, as a water, they have going to have those people who were absent at that program to be, you know, part of the process moving forward. That's another question we'll have to see, you know, in the days ahead, in the weeks ahead, right? Like I said, JNB has the responsibility as a leader of that team to bring everybody on board, to bring everybody under the tank, and make sure that everybody has, you know, a space in there. The Yombly, the Costa, the DeLong, you know, everybody has to come together. Because if you want the opposition unity to defeat Joshua, all the people got to come with a tank. If anybody make an attempt to go to split that ticket, or say they're going to CDC or they're going somewhere else, it becomes that's a whole nother conversation right there. So, but that move right there was a good move, you know, to have gone to their party office. Yeah, they went to the party office. What they did, they got the drone sizing the number, everything else to show to the world that where they had the numbers and everything. They all do that strategy, right? So everybody saw the number and said, well, you know, the party, people are posting it like the party put the in time pass, like the CDC did in a couple of months ago. So that's the strategy now we'll be living with, right? But that's the thing about it, you know, as a whether that number going to translate into vote come 2023, you know, October 10th, we'll see, you know. But JNB has a lot of work to do to make sure that even we wait to see what happened with the ANC, you know, with Alexander Cummings, you know, coming in the weeks ahead. What happens, what he's going to do, who he's going to select, and so forth. Whether if he select somebody and that person will add value to the ticket to rejuvenate the ticket, because right now, as we speak, the ANC, you know, is in complete coma. I will put it that way. You know, in complete coma. We can't see anything happening. There's nothing you see happening. Everybody just completely dead. You know, dead. But there's hope alive. The person out of the ticket, whether they're going to, you know, bring life to the ticket, or that we still go on with the same, you know, attitude, then we see it from that perspective. But in everything that we see right now, you know, the JNB folks are leading the charge. You know, the Unity Party is leading the charge of the opposition right now. Because it's no argument about, you know, like I said earlier, Moses, Alexander Cummings was and still in the proper position to change the narrative. We still have a few months to go. But the attitude, and you know, there's a deception I don't like. Most of the people on social media who are from the ANC, someone also support as an comment, who know what happened behind the scene. Most of them who are on social media, they know the party is in crisis. They know that it's crisis. They know that people are not satisfied. The ANC global and other people that they're having issues. They know that. They know it very well. And these things are having a serious impairment on the party, on the ANC and communist activity. They know that. They know it. So they're pretending as though this thing does not exist. You cannot go into the election, a critical election you want to win, and you be pretentious about your numbers or your win or your chances. It doesn't make any sense. Who you fooling? When the time comes October 10th, we will see it. It's not going to be that a pregnant woman. When she's pregnant, says I'm pregnant. When that time comes, you will see it in the front. You're not going to see it in the back. So who you feel? Who you fooling? But the pretense among some of our friends, you know, it's just annoying to the point where when you have to say, listen, just stop this thing here. Stop cursing this man. Start insulting. We insulted for all these years. It didn't help. We at this point, let's see how we can be able to rejuvenate part and ANC a ticket, get another activity, and move forward with this thing and bring life to the communist campaign. Where's the campaign team? Where are the people? Where's the propaganda team? Where is the secretariat? If communist is not there, nobody will see nobody. So what is the problem? And people keep acting like it doesn't. Oh yeah, come and win. How can come and win election when nothing happened in the party? When the party, you can't even see the party chairman making any statement. You can't even see the party secretary general. You can't even see the party leadership. The youth win, the women win. You can't see nothing happening in the party. When the comments alone, if coming go to the radio station, nothing happens. So how you expect to win elections? How you expect to win elections?
Thank you. Let's bring Sekou in. Sekou.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Steve, and thank you, Chairman, for coming on today. And I've been following the conversation, and I like the way the conversation is going. However, I have some fundamental disagreement with Chairman's section in some of the area, which we are accustomed to on this platform. You know, our friends, our guests, when we come here, we discuss the issue. But when we see any fundamental disagreement, we should point to them. First of all, I'm not sure if from the tone right now, I'm not sure if Chairman Dure State supports Alexander Cummings. I'm not sure. I'm just saying it, and I'll tell you my reason why. So, you know, you are a politician. You are very, very smart, and you speak your mind. But sometimes you also speak political language, which is allowed. First of all, let me agree with you. Let me tell you areas that I agree with you first, and I will tell you areas that I disagree with you. First, I agree with you that Cummings, the team, should do more when it comes to representation, reaching out, work on messaging, and also sharpen the contradiction, the contrast that differentiate Cummings and other people. That is completely true, and I agree with that. Here are areas that I don't agree. First, you keep referring to him or Cummings' campaign as ANC, ANC, ANC. Cummings is not the standard bearer for ANC. Cummings is the standard bearer for the CPP. And CPP is not just ANC. That's the first, thing I want you to understand, because this is not unique to ANC. This is CPP. CPP is a collaboration. So I think I need to make that correction, because every time when you're speaking to them and you're putting it in the box of ANC, and everybody will kind of project the whole conversation like this is between ANC and Unity Party as opposition and other opposition group. So if you look at it, the only legitimate collaboration in Liberia right now, as we know, on paper and also in action, is the CPP. Legitimate. That's the first thing. Second thing I want to also shine light on. When you say people cursing on JNB and this other person and that other person, yes, there are people that are very harsh. There are people that don't know politics and they turn to support commies and other people. It's in every side. But I'm not sure if everybody that are actually being talking for commies or people that are being actually somehow campaigning or reaching out for commies or somehow being drawing the contrast between commies and Joseph Nima Boakai are actually insulting Boakai. There are people who are very, very temperamental. When something happens, they have nothing to counter argue. They will always go there and say things, that will be disrespectful to Joseph Boakai. But when you present the conversation, you can't be cursing Boakai, you could be cursing other people, and that if we do that, that will not going to help Boakai, or commies. Then that would project the wrong picture, as if commies people are doing nothing to sell their candidate, but they only go to insult. And I'm not sure if that's the case, because I know there are people on both sides that disrespect and insult other people, other candidates, and the standard bearers. But largely on the larger scale, that's why I wrote that statement is not entirely correct. I put that one there. I wrote one when I was not on the show, because I just want to make sure that for us to be honest to our people and people that are listening, also be fair to the people as well. They start pointing onto their flaws like you did. That's 100% correct. They need to do more. But presenting the picture as if they do nothing else but to insult other people, I think that's not a correct or an accurate characterization of the people. That is the second thing. Third thing, listening to you, it seems like you are falling for the narrative that Unity Party people putting out there, saying that, oh, maybe commies is no longer a factor. Oh, maybe the way you're looking at it now, commies did it on himself. In fact, your statement when you said, for the sake of opposition unity, the other people, those people who were betrayed, that you agree that they were betrayed, should see reason just because of opposition unity. That is directly playing in the hands of JNB and the Unity Party. So that's why I question. That's the area I question whether you stay. Which is you're right.
Let me.
Also, no. I will finish.
Okay.
Which is okay. Which is you're right, and which I believe. I mean, it's your right to do that.
Yeah.
But my one thing is that you cannot have it both ways. If you have decided to say, you know what, based on circumstances, based on X, Y, and Z, I've decided to support JNB, that's fine. But you can't say supporting JNB, then you are begging people to go and be with Joseph Nima Boakai simply because of what you call opposition unity. There's nothing like opposition unity. The idea that opposition unity that's been perpetuating the internet and the Liberian political society is that opposition should not attack Joseph Nima Boakai. Opposition should not point to the flaws of Joseph Nima Boakai. Opposition should not point to the area of incapacitation of Joseph Nima Boakai. People should always focus on George Weah, so Joseph Boakai will have a free ride. Anything short of that, that is people destroying opposition. Because nobody should attack Joseph Boakai. Nobody should point to the people who even know that Joseph Boakai is not capable, but you should not say it. When you say it, you're destroying opposition. Even though you know Joseph Boakai is sick, when you point to the mere health problem, then you're destroying opposition. Even though you think Joseph Boakai squandered opportunity, Joseph Boakai where we're ailing, Joseph Boakai boss lady that he worked for 12 years could not serve as a character witness for Joseph Boakai. If you talk about that, then you're destroying the opposition. So what I'm trying to say, in short, in closing, Joseph Nima Boakai discussion, drawing a contrast with Joseph Nima Boakai, even people coming to say Joseph Nima Boakai is not fit, is not capable to be president. That's their right, and that's not insult. That's politics. Because you know what? Liberian people agree. If you must say agree that George Weah is incompetent. George Weah is inept. George Weah government is corrupt, proven by their action, which means somehow solidifies by the United States and other world power that we are government. They are not only corrupt, but they are engaged in money laundering, drug trafficking, and the rest of bad things for the country. So it means George Weah is no longer a problem. George Weah is no longer a target. It's about who's going to replace George Weah. So it is now incumbent upon all of them to make sure to make the case that I'm the best person for George Weah. To do that, you got to make sure that the other person is not being projected as the best person. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing called opposition unity. The so-called opposition unity is the playbook and the talking point for United Party people and their supporters, so that people can take their eyes from Joseph Nima Boakai and focus on George Weah, and then Boakai will just come and take it. George Weah finished. You got nothing to do with George Weah. George Weah already self-destroyed. So I just wanted to say that, and still before I close, I just want to make my comment now. I'll just be quiet and listen to you. Before I close, still I wanted to say something. When I look at the screen from our platform, I see 1,112 people. But then when I look at the SKTV, it was like below 900 and change. But then I found out where the number is coming from. Now I'm just trying to tell you, now the number on YouTube is growing. So I went on YouTube. YouTube used to be 3, 4, 5 people. Now it's over 100 people watching from YouTube directly. So I want to tell the people who are watching on YouTube, I want to tell you thank you. But the only thing I want you to do, subscribe. Click the subscribe button. It's very, very important. And you share the show as well. We are very, very happy that the audience is growing on YouTube, because we have more audience on Facebook. But if the YouTube audience is growing now, over 100 people watching live from YouTube, that is something we appreciate. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. We want to encourage you to go ahead and click subscribe button. Mr. Chairman, again, welcome.
Thank you. You know,
my opinion. And if you finish, if I have any more questions to ask you,
yeah,
well, I want to give you a chance to respond, and then
Sekou, thank you. That means you owning the business, and you know exactly where you up to. So all your questions and all your point layout, they're all brilliant. So thank you. But here's the thing: mostly were asking me questions specifically with the Unity Party. So I was not speaking, as I was speaking directly to the Unity Party question that was being asked, right? And one thing I would agree with you is that you mentioned about me swapping the nomenclature for CPP versus CPP in place of ANC in place of CPP, and which is true. I should have used the CPP when he asked the question, because the CPP is not ANC. But you raised some very salient point, and the thing about it is that like I told Moses. Yes, what is true is a CPP thing, But for me, I like to be very brutally honest when I'm saying things. One thing I know about myself, I don't have whether it's a friend or whether it's discourse or whatever. I don't have my thoughts. I put it out rightly. Whether I support the person or not, I say as I see it. I'm not supporting. The day I decide to support the Unity Party folks, it will be made known. I don't hide. I say up front. If people have been coming to me to support, yes. If we're talking to me to support, yes. I got a lot of friends in the Unity Party, a lot of brothers in the Unity Party. So, but I still support Alexander Cummings and the CPP. I still do support them. I've had back and discussion with a lot of the other people. I do support them 100%. I have not wavered on my support. But what I will not do, I will not die in pain. I will not, my silence, I will not sit there and be in pain and say, because I support ANC, I'm supporting CPP and I support Alexander Coming, so I will remain quiet. No. There are times that we thought quiet. We talked to a lot of people in the background like you do, Sekou. We talked to a lot of the players, a lot of the key players in the background.
A lot of people.
Right, you know, we talked a lot. So
I want to talk to you and Steve.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. So, you know, we do these things because we love our country from different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of people. You know, why is this happening? It means, like I said to you, if Henry Costa of all people told the entire world Comey was nothing in the political process, was absolutely nothing, and he cost this man from for the past 5 years, even to the point where he tried, even this issue of Comey and JNB coming together, he was one person who punctuated the narrative that Comey will not even come close to JNB. It should never even happen. Even the destruction of the CPP, the original CPP, you know, it should never happen. They're destroyed, right? Because he wanted to be vice president. In my opinion, that's why you're trying to make sure that Comey doesn't even come close to JNB or to whatever arrangement that we have going on. So the first thing to do is to destroy it. They found money to destroy it. Now we're at this point. So what I'm saying is, yes, but what is true that we are on different side of the divide. At the end of the day, we are in the opposition, right? We're in the opposition. What other nomenclature we gave ourselves? We're in the opposition. Eventually, if Comey goes to the second round, we'll be asking the Unity Party folks, you know, to support in the second round. If JN people go to the second round, they'll be asking, you know, to go and asking the other folks to go to the second round to support the second round. So in any way, we have a one goal to take George Weah out of power. That's the ultimate goal. All of us in the opposition, we are opting for the seat that George Weah has. Nobody opting for a different seat, right? So that is the core. That's a core value we all share. That this is what we're going for. Now, as to how we get it, that is the question that all of us, you know, stay answering and stay providing answers for and stay seeking answers, you know, too, right? So I let to be practical about it. I let to be honest about it, because my side, the CPP, my side, you know, have not done much to say, you know. I'll give you an instance. I'll give you an instance, right? There's people who have left from here, who are gone in the country, Some of the things they see when we have a conversation with them, say, Chairman, this is awful. This is not what we signed up for. This is awful. How can we come in the country and we don't see any structure at all? We don't see anything at all. You know, we don't see anything at all. If we don't see Mr. Cummings, nothing happens. You know, even to the point we see him, you know, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, so
let me just finish up. So at the end of the day, it doesn't add value to Mr. Cummings. It doesn't add value to the CPP. You know, and at the end of the day, because we're talking about winning, we're talking about going to the second round. How are we doing it to the second round? And we don't see anything visibly happening. So these are things that are happening. Some of the guys you talk to, even people who are spending money from here on counties in Liberia, you know, some of the people are spending money on counties. You know, nobody did to do M&E. Nobody did to do a follow-up. There were just few weeks ago that a few people left from here to go to the country and begin to do some work. Okay? But as the work of the work will translate into numbers, because they're not there on the ground, they're just going there for a few weeks and come back. The youth win, the women win throughout the country. You don't see visibly. We talk to these people every day. Some of them, we help them with small little things just to go in to do some other things and so forth. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Even to talk to some of the people. What has the CPP done? Has they announced anybody to say, well, we brought on ACO, for instance? We talked to ACO leadership and ACO is coming on board. Or we talked to the other people, they're coming on board. Or we talked to the other political party, they're coming on board. Or we talked to the other person. So we don't see nothing. We barely see anything. So these are my thoughts, you know, opinions, and I'm saying this because I love Mr. Cummings and I know what he brings to the table.
I think those points are valid points, and people should embrace it. People should embrace their supporters to criticize them, to critique them fairly. I think that is a fair game. One thing, something I want to ask you. You agree, we and I agree, everybody agree that Joseph Nima Boakai decision to choose Jeremiah Kun, not Yombly, not Costa, was a betrayal. And that's also has something to do with his judgment, his understanding of loyalty. Joseph Nima Boakai is supposed to be president for Liberia.
Right.
I'm going to give you a question.
Okay.
If somebody display this high level, this loyalty, this honesty, some people will call it, and betrayal, how come Liberian people not paying attention to that? Not Jolo Baka supporters not paying attention to that. Liberian people who are supposed to vote for this man to be showed the kind of thing that we are seeing right now. That's not a good act of leadership. It does not project any good moral latitude of a leader. If Joseph Walker did that, how come people are not paying attention to that? And they are so moved by
the mark.
Steve don't want me to tell you, don't meet me like that. Steve don't want me to tell you, don't meet me like that. What happens?
Yeah, you made that too, Steve.
You're muted too. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry, the computer that touch screen, I made a mistake. So sorry.
So what I was saying, I don't know whether you got all the point I was making.
I didn't get the last part, but I got the point you're making. I got it.
About how come people are not outreach, but just about lack of leadership in the way he carry on the selection process, by talking to everybody, by taking things from everybody, and betraying everybody in the end, which is not a good show of a leadership. How come people are not paying attention to that? But people are paying attention, making people to believe that the less than 1% of most of other people that show up, people that show up at this program, is less than 1% of registered voters, not even in the total of people in the living program. Even the people that show up, we're not even sure whether all of them were registered. But the people that show up, it's way less than 1%. Because that put over there, I don't think it can reach 10,000 or 800,000 or 800 people. But assuming, let's say, let's give it 8,000, let's give it 10% of registered voters in most of the country. But they want to make people to believe that, oh, it's over. Oh, it's momentum, they get momentum. And I can tell you the kind of people we have in Liberia, even coming stage of similar rally tomorrow, or Tiawan Gonglo, the same number of people, or even more, will show up. Whether they will translate into a vote, we don't know. So what I'm telling you, how come people are not talking about just about lack of leadership in his judgment in terms of what he did, how he played the people, but yet they are focusing on making it look like.
Segu, let me answer your question directly.
Yeah.
I will ask you, I will be rhetorical.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wow. The question would be, let me turn the question this way. Why are people not angry about just Joseph Burger being part of the Ellen administration for 12 years? Why did not say we're not supporting Mr. Cummings, who is a new man on the block, who has the vigor, who has the policy prescription to run the country and bring some just relief to our people? Why is it that people not gravitating? Why is it people not fire up about, his presidency and going and say, this man want people who are being in the national legislature, who are the problem to the country? are calling him Rescue 1, people are fired up Rescue 1, Rescue 2. Why are people so fired up about Joseph Barker and not fired up about Mr. Cummings? Why are they not so in the street and people demanding, people all in the street and say, hey, we don't want nobody else but Mr. Cummings.
Okay.
And the simple reason is
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, then you will continue. That's the same thing when why I say I agree with you. The area where I say I agree with you. People who are fired up, that are being considered now Liberian people have spoken. They are less than 0.1% of Liberian people. Those are the United Party people. United Party people are doing something that ANC and the CPP entirely are not doing. That's why I agree with you when you said they are supposed to be doing more. They are supposed to be doing good. What the United Party people are doing now, they are desperate to come back to power. CPP people and ANC people must show desperation, must show to show proof of confidence and trust in their leader, to be on the street the same way, to canvass for their person the same way that the UP people are doing. You people, they are projecting the narrative. They want to make sure, they want to make believe that people should believe that Boakai is their man, Boakai is wanted, Boakai is the person, even though they do not have the number, but they want you to make believe that the number is there. That's the same thing ANC and people who Cummings selected as his team. That's what they are not doing. And that's why people are criticizing them for doing what they're not doing. They should be doing what Unity Party is doing right now. It's not that they don't have the people. It's not that they don't have the number. But what the problem is, they are not energizing their people. They are not showing more passion. They are not showing desperation like Unity Party people are showing. That's why Unity Party is in conversation. And that's why everybody criticizing Cummings and people there for not doing what you people are doing right now. And not because what you people are doing, you people don't represent Liberian people. They are part of Liberia. So that number of people that are doing this for UP, they do not represent even 1% of Liberian people.
Sekou. The point we're missing here is Liberia political process is different from any political process around the continent. It's different. And the perception of our voters is completely different. We're dealing with people who will tell you, say, you came a man, you came a power, I will vote for you. People who say, you know, but you don't know, but I will still vote for you. People who make the more awful statement and still vote people into power. People who will vote people into power who will steal from them, who will impoverish them, but they still vote for them. People who don't care about them, but they still vote for them. People who don't care, who don't even regard them, but they still vote for them. People who insult them, but they still vote for them. These are the kind of voters we talk